already the middle of the night, so who cares at this point, you know? And what I was really hoping and praying for is that we're putting him to bed so late, at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was hoping that he wouldn't wake up until around like 5 and I would get up for the day. Yeah.
Guys, I'm confused as you are, but at this point, let's find a name for this man as well. You said no, nurse, because of what she's doing, but can this be a husband as well? Look at how this lady is dressed. At this point, I'm so concerned about her. When I saw the first clip, I was like, nobody in the world could ever do that to a newborn. Letting a child with a feeding bottle, like self-feeding, newborn. And she said, if I don't go to work, there's no way I can miss work. Like, it will be worse for me. And the worst part is how she's treating this man called husband as the king of the world. Like, he deserves everything. He deserves, is it how much dollars that I can't spend on my children? I just want to know, could it be that this girl is being abused? That we don't know. I really want to know. But if you see the relationship with the spouse, it's always warm. They're always good.
Already the middle of the night, so who cares at this point, you know? And what I was really hoping and praying for is that we're putting him to bed so late, at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was hoping that he wouldn't wake up until around like 5 and I would get up for the day. Yeah, no, I was out of... Ever. I don't really care how tired or sick I am, I'm going to work. Like, if I call in sick to work, you know something is real bad with me. But anyways, we got home at almost 2 a.m. and then of course I had to get the baby out and I had to feed the baby and change the baby and get the baby swallowed. You know, all while my husband said he had to go to the bathroom, of course. I realized I forgot to wake up in the middle of the night. And to that I said, it's already the middle of the night, so who cares at this point, you know? And what I was really hoping and praying for is that with putting him to bed so late, at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I was hoping that he wouldn't wake up until around like 5 when I would get up for the day. Yeah, no, I was out of my mind when I thought that was gonna happen. Ever. I don't really care how tired or sick I am, I'm going to work. Like, if I call in sick to work, you know something is real bad with me. But anyways, we got home at almost 2 a.m. and then of course I had to get the baby out and I had to feed the baby and change the baby and get the baby swallowed. You know, all while my husband said he had to go to the bathroom, of course. I realized I forgot to wake up in the middle of the night. And to that I said, it's already the middle of the night, so who cares at this point, you know? And what I was really hoping and praying for is that with putting him to bed so late, at like 2 o'clock in the morning, I was hoping that he wouldn't wake up until around like 5 when I would get up for the day. Yeah, no, I was out of my mind when I thought that was gonna happen.
I finally got a video of someone who relates with such a life, and she's explaining how she got out of that situation that she's also regretting. Her life used to be like Nurse Hannah's, and let's hear from her. How did you cope? How did you get here? How did you cope with such a husband? Let me know. Let's listen to this clip. I say nothing is new on earth. If you relate with such situations, let us know in the comment section. Can we interact? Let's learn. Let us know how does it work? How does it happen? Like, how? Someone who can't understand that you're drained from long hours shift? No. Let's listen to what she has to say.
So I actually used to be kind of like Nurse Hannah. Hear me out, because not in every aspect and everything that I'm going to talk about, I'm not justifying it at all. I just wanted to share it because I've never talked about it before. And I regret it every single day of my life. And if I can go back to that time of my life, then I would. A lot of this situation has triggered a lot of us, and me in one specific way. And it's the way that she's done something that reminded me of something I used to do. So like Hannah, I would allow my partner's father of my children to physically discipline my children. Now, if you've been following me, you know I'm a big, huge advocate for gentle parenting and why you should gentle parent and why you should never spank your children. But I've also been vulnerable and shared with you guys that I used to spank my oldest. And I gotta say, when I saw that video of Hannah apologizing and her saying that nothing was going on at home, it's like part of me could see like the fear or something in her eye. And the reason I say that, and it's not to defend her at all, okay? Everything else that's come out about her is completely horrendous. I do not condone any of the stuff that's going on with her baby. But the thing that really hurt me and what I saw is how she acts around her husband. Like, if he's like the king of the world and he's the boss of everything. And that really triggered me. And the way that she just allows him to, again, physically discipline or whatever with her children. And she's come on videos that spanking is okay, but like, what we only get a glimpse of what we think is going on at home. We have no idea how they physically discipline this child, right? But based on the video and evidence, we can only assume the worst, and we have been. But going back to how I was like Hannah, there was a lot of moments where when my children's father wanted to physically discipline the children, and I would try to get in the way, and I would be like, no, like, we can't, we don't spank, this and that. And I remember being told by them, just like, I'm the father, I have as much right to as you do, you know, like, shut up, like, go over there type of thing. And so thinking back at it, and again, it's something that really haunts me to this day. It's just being there when their father, you know, spanked them or disciplined them or whatever. And I feel like our number one thing as a parent, as a mother, is to protect your children. And a family friend once told me, sometimes you have to, as a mother, sometimes you have to protect your children even from their own father, and vice versa. Sometimes it's the father protecting the children from their own mother. And in those situations years ago, when my children were physically getting disciplined, I didn't stop it. And God, I think about all the women that have gone and endured that and had to like hug their children afterwards and say it's gonna be okay, or daddy's just mad or whatever. Like, that is a horrible, horrible way to raise children. Like, mom and dad are supposed to be on the same page, and that's something I hope a lot of you do, is talk about how you plan to raise your children before you have children with a person. But I really needed to talk about that because it's been really, really triggering for me. Again, with everything that's been going on, is horrendous with the whole nurse Hannah. But the thing that's killing me, and it's really, really triggering me, is how she, as a wife, as a mother of her children, is just like okay with her partner, with her significant other, with the father of her children, treating her child that way. And to come and put it on video, like him flicking the finger, him putting the son behind the oven, and like, just, that's insane. The way that I was like Hannah is that I let it happen. I did. Maybe I told him to stop, maybe I told him not to do it, but it still happened. It still happened under my watch. My children still got spanked and still got physically disciplined in that way. God, my children had fucking bruises. And I should have called CPS on myself. I really should have. Sorry, this is just something that's been really, really hard to talk about because, again, the guilt eats me alive in this. And yeah, I did the right thing. I eventually left these partners, right? I eventually took my children away from that environment. But it's like they still had to go through that. And the way I'm different from Hannah is that I took me and my children away from those men. But the fact that they still had to endure it for a short period of time or a period of time is disgusting and unforgivable on my part. And even though my children forgive me, I will never forgive myself for that. And so that's the way that I feel like I'm like Hannah. And regarding everything else that's going on with her child, baby feels like, it seems like she feels like the children are a nuisance, and because she is very likely being abused by the husband financially, emotionally, who knows in what ways. And I know that's a really strong allegation, but I'm just calling it the way I see it, that her husband is the king of the world, and her being very religious. I don't know. Personally, I feel like she's taking all that hurt and pain that she's tolerating and getting from her husband, and it's just kind of coming out towards her children, and that's why her children seem and feel like a nuisance to her. And in that way, I'm different from Hannah because it was the opposite for me. For me, I felt like I was failing my children, and I knew we had to get out. If this changes the way you see me, I completely understand, because I'm telling you, this is really, really hard to talk about. I've talked about it a lot in therapy, but it's just the whole controversy with Hannah the nurse has just really triggered that for me.
We've all seen the clips, and these are my thoughts on this. Everyone will have their own opinion, but when I was analyzing these clips, I saw a frustrated mother, maybe depressed, left alone to do everything. You know how caregiving is hard, and maybe she spends the whole shift awake She doesn't even have time to rest because she's caregiving, you know. And also another thing is she's working hard. But I don't want to take that as a justification for her to treat her children the way she's doing. But there's one thing to note. She went on to also say that if I don't go to work, it will be hard for me. That must be a sign of depression, but also it could also be that she takes a lot of responsibility. I also saw another clip where she went on to say that my husband took my credit card, saying that I'm spending a lot of money. This lady is kind of doing the Morgan thing. I have to bring the story of Morgan right here. This Morgan lady was, I don't want to get into that story because it's so long. I want to bring it on here so that we elaborate more on it. She's fearing being alone, you know. She loves this man so bad that she feels like she can sacrifice the happiness of her children because of the man. Look at how this, when the child was brought to this man to just hold for a second, as she was going to attend to the other boy who was crying the other side. The man said what? Just put him there. The sound was muted, but most likely this child was crying as well. And the other one is crying for attention. The firstborn, the boy who was always denied food. So now, no. There's a lot to unpack here, but this lady has to choose one thing. She has to choose between her children and her husband. Like, she has just to choose for what she feels suiting her. Because she's saying, I can't, if I don't work, it's something. Could it be that she's going to financial abuse? Could it be that she's depressed? Could it be that she's when I saw this clip, it's not normal. Who on earth can let their child feed newborn baby? Yeah. Feed themselves on a bottle from 2 to 5 a.m. Who can do that? Who on earth? Like a mother with just their own senses. Do you think that can happen in this world? I don't think so. There's something wrong. There's something that she's not telling us. She might be going through financial abuse. She might be going through stuff with this man that he's not telling us. And I'm tired of seeing videos of us putting emphasis on this lady without mentioning the man into his life. The man into her life is really something else, a monster, if I might say. I said we should give him a name, but I don't want to call him a monster at this point. I don't know what are his choices, but what he's doing, whatever he's doing is not right. No, thank you. No, thank you. These are your children as well. The responsibility of raising children isn't for ladies alone. I thought it's just in Africa that people think that way. By seeing white people, anyway, I was surprised anyway. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on this. Do not forget to like the video, leave your thoughts in the comment section, also subscribe to the channel, and I'm so excited. Stay tuned for more.